Kumlana Black Gemara. We're up to the eighth page. The eighth page is all about Yerushas. Who gets Yerusha? It's all based on the psukim in Parshas Pinchas, and we'll see and we'll talk more about the psukim later on. Because, for example, nowhere does it Torah say the father Yashin is his son, and we have to learn from the psukim. And there's a number of things we learn from the psukim, and the Torah is not written necessarily in the order of events. The way it works is, as the Torah says, Kol HaKorav, whoever is closer, Yashin's first. But there are four categories of Yerusha. First, Yesh Neichel and Manchilin, a son and a father. The son, if the father if the son predeceases his father, the father will yashin the son if there were no grandchildren. He steps in before the brothers, the siblings. And for trade, if the father passes away first, the son will yashin the father. So Neichel and Manchilin, they yashin from each other and they bequeath to each other. That's category number one. Then category number two, Yesh Neichel and Manchilin. There are those who yashin, but they're not manchel, a son to his mother. If the mother passes away, the son yashins his mother. But if the son passes away, it does not go to the mother. It goes to because family by Yerusha is only the father's side of the family, not the mother's side. Third category is manchilin. This is the converse. That's the mother. The mother passes away, she passes on to her son. But if the son passes away, the mother does not yashin the son. Gemara already asked. The manchilin is exactly the opposite. We know one from the other. Once you know one, you know the other. Your will talk about that. And case number four is loy noichli v'loy machil. No Yerush at all. You're too far away for relatives. No Yerush at all. Mishpacha se'im. Now the Mishnah spells out what I just told you. They yashin to each other. And also, what do you call it? Also the brothers of the father. If the father's not alive, there's no children, whatever, no brothers, the uncles will think, and vice versa. If they have no children, it passes down to the nephew. That these are examples of Neichel and Manchil. They pass to each other. Ha'ishes imay, a man and his mother, he yashes his mother, but he doesn't bequeath his mother. But ishes ishtay, a man yashes his wife, but he doesn't bequeath his wife. He stays in his family. Ubnei achoyes, the children of sisters. There were no brothers, and one of the sisters, two sisters, and one of the sisters pass away. It passes to her sister and goes down to her children. Noichlin v'loy manchil. So they yashin, but they don't manchil. It doesn't go to the sisters, it goes to the father's side of the family. Ha'isha as boneh, a woman and children. Ha'isha as baila, and a woman or husband. V'achei aim, the opposite of what we just said a minute ago. And the uncles, the brothers of the mother, manchilin, they bequeath to the sisters. No other brothers alive, and it goes to the children. But they don't inherit. Their sister's son doesn't go to them. It goes to the husband's side of the family. And brothers who share the same mother, because the Yerusha does not go on the mother's side, but on the father's side. Says the Gemara, first Gemara wants to know a very simple thing. The very first example in the Mishnah is that a father yashas his children. That means it's already a curse. The only way a father yashas his children is if his child passed away before him and there was no grandchildren. Why would you start a Mishnah with the curse? The Gemara asks, listen, Habbanis Avarasha, talk the way things work. That a child, first the father passes away, and then the child. And the Chada. First of all, that's really part of the question. How can you start something with Puranius? You don't end with Puranius, and we don't want to start with Puranius. But furthermore, you can see, follow what the Torah says. The Torah says, Ishki Yamus Uben Einloi. No, the first natural order of events is the father passes away, and then the question what happens to the son, if there's a son. Why change order? The Tana, and we had this like in the beginning of the door. I did the Asile Midrasha Chavivale. The Mishnayos are here to teach us the Rabbanans. So therefore, something that's not mafurish in the Torah, but rather a father yashning his son or daughter is not in the Torah. We have to dash it, as we'll see later in the Gemara. If there's no sons, you give it to the daughter. So why is it Habartim? There's nobody else around. There is someone else around who should be getting before that. The father. Must be the father's not around either. So you pass it on then to the daughter. Anyway, the Tana, I did ask the since we live in Russia, Chavivale likes it. My drasha, the Tanya we learn, it says in the pasuk that if there's no brothers, it says in the pasuk, if there's no brothers to the father, what do you do then? Obviously, there's no father, there's no brothers to the father, no uncles. Then you give it to l'she'edai akarav elav. Now she'edai zeh ha'av. Later on, we'll learn that the opinion she'eda means the wife. That in what do you call it? Sorry, now when it comes to giving, it says She'eda will talk about wife to take from. Machlekes later on, we'll see whether you're Yashin your wife Ma'atoid or Midrabon. Yerusha's Habal. Is that Ma'atoid or is that Midrabon? But it says in the pasuk here. So what happens to no uncles? Then you give it to the relative that's closest. So who's this She'edai? She'edai zeh of this is the father. And it says love the closest. That means the father is the closest. If there was no son, the father is the closest. So somebody passes away and had no children of his own, but he has a father and he has brothers, and the father yashins before the brothers. If it says She'edai HaKodev love, you tell me that the She'edai HaKodev is talking about the father. So even if the person who dies has children, shouldn't the father get before the children? Usually say pasuk. That's why it says in pasuk HaKodev love, Kodev Kaidim. In other words, the father is very close to the son, but not the closest. There's somebody closer than the father. There's somebody else that you might think is closer. I'm telling you, no, She'edai is Kodev. So She'edai is closer than one person, but not closer than another person. So they have two choices: the brother of the deceased or the child of the deceased. One of them is considered closer, and one of them is considered not as close. Which one is closer? Because the father never takes the place of his son in any halacha. But we do find that a son takes the place of his father, and we also find that a brother takes the place of his brother. We do find that brother Yibum, a brother takes his brother, and by a son we find either by Yud, if you buy an Oma Yigriya, and the father doesn't use the money that he had, he was more kedushin. As kedushin, the son can step in, so the son takes the place of the father. Din number one, and din number two is the achuzah. If you donated a field to the hegdish, that's the achuzah, and somebody else bought it and you never redeemed it, then comes Yevul, it goes to the Kohanim and it's gone. But if the son is the one who buys the field, comes Yevul, it's not gone. It goes back to the father. So we see that a son takes the place of his father. It's like the father bought it. So, but at least between the son and the brother, they can step in each other's shoes. A father never steps into the son's shoes. So therefore, they're more. One of them is more cut and one of them is further. The question is which is more and which is further. Sorry? Slaughter. What do you mean? Oh, that. Okay. Well, the Machrik and Mashdam and all that. If that's so, not so. By Kuna. And by Melech. But it doesn't mean take over. It means it passes down. That's not the same as taking over. It's not considered as if the father is continuing. The din is it's a Yerusha and goes to the son. Al Yerusha.
Walk him off, or is he the of himself?
So why do you decide that the son comes first? The son, father, brother. Maybe it should be the other way around. Maybe it should be brother, father, son. Ben, you know why I say the son comes first? Because he's the closest. Because in two respects. She can't come tachas ovid liyada, but comes to you, he takes the place of the father. He takes the place of the father. Let's be marba the brother. The brother has a din of yibum. Takes the place of his brother as it's mamish like his brother. So Yimon answers, Klum, when does Yibum work? Only if there's no son. But if there is a son, yeah, if there's a son, there's no Yibum. So therefore the son comes first. Klum yesh Yibum el Moshe ben. Haba Mokam Shesh ben, there's a son alive, and Yibum. So now the Gemara has to go around. It's interesting the Gemara here, how the Gemara works. First the Gemara has one gang, and you slug me up. Now I'll go the opposite gang. So the first halacha was, maybe the brother's closer. And now we're saying, how come you think the brother's closer? Sure, the son is closer, because in two respects he takes over his father's place, but a brother only takes over one respect. What was the question in the first place? Time, so it seems like the only reason why you refute me is because of Klum Yesh Yibum El Mokashem Ben. Not for that, that would be a good question. Typically, why don't we just say simply? The son has two connections, and the brother only one. So you want to know. When it came to the achuzah, we know from the psukim there one pasuk that if a stranger, if an acha came and redeemed it, comes Yevul, he goes off to Kohanim, and if a Kohanim takes it, it takes the place. And the Gemara there asks, how do you know who the acha is, who the Kohanim is? Maybe the acha is the ben and the Kohanim is the brother. So Seichus itself, we don't know what it means, and the only way the Gemara there knows what it means is because Klum Yesh Yibum El Mokshen Lach. So it's not 2 against 1. It's actually only 1 against 1. But it turns out to be it's 1 against 0. Because if the 1 is there, there is no yibum. So stay achuza gufa mahai time with the kokaim latana. The same read. How do we know stay achuza taka belongs? It only applies to the son and not to the brother. Klum yeshim elamok ben. Ha yesh ben and yibum. Let's stop singing. Continue tomorrow.